Welcome to the Guide Life Podcast by Whiskey Slews. This show is about the work, the hunts, and the real side of guiding. No filters, no fluff, just what it takes to build and run a hunting operation from the ground up. Every week we'll cover everything from land management to habitat work to the daily grind of guiding waterfowl upland and turkey hunts here in Nebraska. I'm Hunter Runge, CEO, guide, and the voice behind the blind. Hello everyone, we're back, another episode. Great day out here in the Whiskey Slews Lodge, having ourselves a relaxing afternoon. Kind of tired, so we're here to kind of amp ourselves up, figure out, talk to you guys, try to put on a decent little good show here. And Bob's hacking into the microphone over there.
I moved it a little bit.
Yeah,
probably not enough to save y'all's ears.
I got him the same shit I just had about for the longest time, and I'm still getting over it.
I got some choice names for you after doing that.
You give him like COVID or something? Jesus, I mean,
I don't know, but this has been like one of the longest like colds or whatever, sinus something, whatever. I don't know, but I've had it.
COVID. Fuck.
I literally.
I mean, you couldn't smell and you couldn't taste.
Yeah, I couldn't.
So.
No, I could taste. I couldn't smell.
Oh.
I literally had it for like probably going on like 3.5 weeks now. It's like finally just leaving me. I'm still
that
like
sounds horrible.
I'm still like coughing up shit. In July.
That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, my 4th of July was spent like literally dying.
Topic for this episode today is when you know you know. A lot of ways you can look at that, but for us, we're going to let it discuss and debate the hunt. When do you know the hunt's over? When do you know you're in the wrong spot?
When do you know you need to get out of the blind and go move some decoys?
Yeah. When you know, you know. First things first, I'll talk about, I know the hunt ain't it. When them first birds come out, if you kill them in the hole, you know it's on. Them first birds come out and they don't do it.
Not always, though.
Not always.
Because a lot of times in the morning, you get that like rush right away in the morning. And
well,
you go,
more of
oh,
in the feed. In a feed.
Okay, in a feed scenario, yeah.
Oh, if they come and they go to the neighbor's field, the first group out,
you know.
You sit there and go, the fuck happened here?
When you know, you know. I tell you, the thing is, when in that situation, I've been there, we've all been there hundreds of times. First flock comes out, they spin you, and they go land in the neighbor's field. Big, fat, fuck you. I have, what's the very first step when that happens for me? I'm getting out and I'm looking at the blinds. Why'd those birds not finish? Was it the blinds? Was it the calling? And I'll look at the decoys. If it wasn't any of those, why did those birds not finish?
I would always say,
because the birds don't always know.
First is always the blinds. Mm-hmm. Like, hide is, I mean, you can set some pretty mosaic decoy spreads, and they're still going to come and land a lot of days. The hide, if they pick you out, it ain't good.
Oh, that was kind of funny. Josh, you're going to have to cut that out. You can't.
Yeah, 100%.
We can't say mosaic. Josh, cut out the mosaic and cut us out to right here.
But if the hide is, like, set up to where they're picking you out, you're not going to finish anything. So, I mean, before you even start moving a decoy, touching a decoy, you got to make sure your blinds are well grassed. Maybe you got to pull them back from the spreadaways. Maybe you got to bury them in more decoys if you're hiding inside. Just really can vary. But you can't have too much cover. You can't blend in too well. There's always something they can pick out. Making sure blind bags are hidden, guys are tucked in, doors are shut. Always the first step.
I'd agree. I mean, you gotta be hidden. Now, at what point have you guys in a guided hunt? I have never done this, but it's on here on our conversation list, and I do want to discuss it. Have you ever moved?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the hide, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When have you guys done it?
It's a lot. I've done it with ducks because actually, this is when you know. This is a perfect example. That day that me and old Charlie were hunting one of the ponds up north, and it was one of the ordeals where like the pond was big enough and there was like a hill that like almost like cut the pond in half. And no matter what, like the ducks would see us, start working us, but they really wanted to be on the other side of the pond. When we scouted it, they wanted to be where we were. And it was one of those ordeals where it's like, you know what? It's 8 o'clock. It was rainy, so the birds were really kind of bouncing around, like perfect waterfowl weather for early fall. And it was one of those ordeals where it's like, if we don't move, we may pick up another duck or two, but if we move, it could be killer. And, as a waterfowl hunter, it's like, oh, damn, I just set all these out. You got to move those and the spread and everything.
My
Your
biggest
blinds, we
thought
moved them.
is always on that. It's like, by the time I move these and, like, all it takes, are they still going to be a good flight?
Right. That was my biggest thing. But it helped because the clients helped move we were in layout blinds. We moved everything, and quite literally, as I was moving the last blind, because me and Charlie were throwing decoys like frantically because we had ducks working, and the worst thing you want to have happen is you ruin your opportunity of flight in general. But as I was pulling my last layout, everything was all set up, all the decoys and everything. Here came a group of gadwall and it was perfect. Like I just laid down by the blind, tucked my face in, told Charlie that call the shot when the clients, or when it's time to call a shot. And just that simple move, even with me being outside of the blind, clear as day, was the difference. So like if there's any indication of, like you need to move, try it, do it, really pay attention to your flight. But
at least, 5-10 times where I've looked at the group and been like, guys, we got 2 options. We can stay here, make some changes to the decoys, try to get them to do what we want. Or if everybody grabs their layout, if we're in layouts, or everybody grabs an end of an A-frame, we're going to move really fast, and we're going to move to where they keep wanting to land, and we can shoot them there, and maybe move a few decoys and hunt it that way. Maybe your wind shifted on you, maybe something went wrong, or you didn't see something in the dark, or whatever, and try to hunt it that way. And there's been some times that's saved my rear, just being like, hey, everybody grab your blind, we're going to move. Sometimes it's as little as like 20 yards just to get a better height or get to where the whole line can shoot and not just 2 or 3 guys are having good shots. It's saved my butt a few times.
I've never fully moved 150, 200 yards to a new spot. I've flipped blinds around and hunted them, and done that. I've moved decoys front to back, stuff like that. But I've never fully moved a rig to a new spot during the hunt. I have changed rigs for the afternoon.
I was gonna say I've moved
done
a lot
that plenty
between
of times,
morning
but
and
in the
afternoon.
actual state of the hunt, I've never picked up and fully moved.
It's really hard, especially when you're talking. A lot of those are field hunts that you're talking pick up and fully move. If you've got several hundred goose decoys out, it's just not going to happen in flight time most of the time.
No. That was the other thing, too, is it's like, so here in Nebraska, it's not common in all places, but here in Nebraska it is. We have a lot of times where if the weather's cold, the birds won't move. When you know, you know. I know when it's about 9:30, ain't no birds flown. It ain't going to happen till the evening. When do you know?
It all depends on the weather. I mean,
sunny, bluebird sky, low of 17, high of 52.
When the time of day they've been feeding, if they've been feeding in the morning, which is usually your 9 to 11 period, if you ain't seeing them moving, you best go find some lunch. It's going to be a long day.
When you know, you know.
Again, you're going to hit them in the evening, but it's...
Yeah, we don't typically hunt evenings here, but we refuse to take ass kicking. So if our birds don't fly in the morning, you bet your ass we're sitting there in the evening.
I mean, you got to do the same thing that any hunter yourself would want to do. If they don't fly, but you're still on the ship pile, they're coming back at some point.
The worst part is when it's 17 degrees but a high of 52 and it's sunny, and they don't move in the morning, and then the evening they come out in the last 5 minutes.
No, what's worse is when you go to take lunch, and they suddenly decide at 1 p.m. they're hungry. And you're like, shit, boys, run
That's
for them blinds.
I tell you, one of the most frustrating things as a guide is when you have a field that you've been watching and you've been patterning it and patterning it and patterning it, same thing day by, like every day, like they damn near show up same time, and your weather lines up too, and your weather's pretty much the same, and then even going into your next day, where you're about to hunt it, same weather, maybe a couple degrees difference, and they don't show up, and it's like, what the hell? That's the most frustrating thing ever, and that's a tough one to know when you know. That's a really tough one.
That one sucks.
Because you have to go off what you think you know, and so that is probably my most frustrating thing, because it happens to everyone. You waterfowl hunt long enough that at the end of the day they're wild animals and you will get screwed.
Well, I'll tell you another thing of reading the mood in the blind.
Yeah, that's a definite
Sometimes you'll be killing birds at a slow trickle, but you'll look down the blind. It's colder than shit, or it's raining, or something.
Some hot soup.
And when you know,
a cold beer.
Them boys are hungry. We've called plenty of hunts this year, and we probably could have killed more, if not a limit, but the clients were cold.
That's a big thing, too, and that's a
clients
huge misconception.
They're wet, they're cold, they don't want to be there. Yeah.
Like a huge misconception of the guide service industry. Like, everybody thinks that you're out there to just kill. No, you're out there to make memories, have a good time with great people. There is times when that is better served at the lodge than in the field. And some groups, they've had their fun. They went out, everybody got their first mallard. They don't want to grind it out for a long period. They want to go out, they want to hunt for a few hours, they want to go enjoy some delicious food and have some cold beer. And that's just their idea of a good weekend. Not everybody that wants to waterfowl hunt wants to grind. Some people just want a nice, relaxing little hunt, or, maybe they'd rather go on a hunt where we're sitting in the big blind, and maybe that we're going mid-afternoon, whatever. We're going to a nice blind where it's not get up early, hunt hard. It's let's go out there, let's have some food in the blind, let's relax, let's turn the heaters on. Everybody's idea of the ideal experience and what they want varies a little bit. Some guys, it's all just about comfort and good times. Some guys, it's all do anything to put my birds on the board. It really can vary, but you got to read that group.
Where we've told them, we can go hunt the big blind in the river, and if you want, we can shoot some mallards, and it'll probably be a pretty good hunt, but I don't think we're going to kill 40 mallards. Or I've got this feed full of lessers and some ducks, and we can go lay in the field, but we'll have to lay in backboards because there's no hide. And they'll be like, you got office chairs in that river blind?
You got a Blackstone and a guy cooking you food?
They were like, oh, we'll just go to the river. That sounds way more fun. And it's like, that you have the opportunity to go probably shoot a 40 stack of geese and probably a bunch of mallards too, or just to go shoot a few mallards and relax and hunt in comfort. And these people choose the comfort, and it's like, great. Sounds good to us.
I mean, like I always think about my dad. Like, he would rather sit in the comfortable blind, sipping on coffee, eating good food, shoot 2 ducks in a whole day, than go lay in the cold, be miserable, shoot a limit. Like, he just wants to go enjoy being out. Like, yeah. I swear to God, he could sit there, stare at the sky, never see a bird, and have a great day.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I'm all about that, but, like, I like to kill.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that the listeners should know for sure is that regardless, we're preparing as though we are out there to kill. Like, we are going to take care of everything that we can in the lodge and make sure that experience is great. But when it comes to the field, regardless of what condition you're in or how well you can put up with the elements, we're preparing to put you on them. Like, that's what we're doing. Doesn't always turn out that way, obviously, but...
Well, we try to make things as comfortable as possible. If we're hunting out of A-frames, we're going to run heaters. We're going to do everything we can. If it's going to be cold, we're going to try to be in A-frames with heaters. It just depends on the day, but there is times where it really is up to what do they want. I mean, we're always trying to put forward a good hunt, but sometimes that good hunt is not what they want. Like, you even think back to turkeys. There's days I've got, 50 birds in a roost, but it's a 1.5 mile walk one way. Or I've got 5 birds with one big comm in it that like to sit right up against the road. Those can both be really solid plays, but it really just depends on. I'd like to go where there's more toms to try to work, maybe get around them, whatever. But some guys would rather just go see how that one bird plays out, and then from there, either call it a day or try to make a move on it, but not hunt till noon, 1 o'clock. Some guys would rather just hunt till 9:30, 10:30, go back, enjoy some good food, and relax. It just depends on what a guy wants out of a hunt.
I'd agree completely. And I'll tell you another thing. Been telling a lot of things, but you just never know when the birds are going to fly when it's cloudy. That was my when you know that you don't actually know. When it's sunny, it's pretty predictable. Cloudy, you just get even the hint of a little drizzle. Your ducks are coming out.
Yeah, it can turn on in an instant when it changes.
The hint of a drizzle.
Here's a good one that's very, very broad that most waterfowl hunters should know. And for the new guys, it's good for them to learn. As simple as it is, but when you got inclement weather, a big change, a big front, get in a field. That was another thing too that we learned early on. Not even just guiding, but on those blizzardy days, damn well you better be in a field, not on water. I mean, you can kill them on water. Don't get me wrong. You can have a blast on water, but if you can figure out where they're feeding and you got a blizzard or something coming in, get your ass in a field. At least here.
We learned a few things.
Yeah.
It's not even like hunting over water isn't good in a blizzard. It's just
not field good.
You can shoot some 150 bird stacks out of Snow's Lesser's ducks in a field.
Well, and they get dumb when the weather hits. I mean, you can have some stale birds become the stupidest birds you've ever seen real fast because they're in survival mode.
Oh, yeah.
They're not thinking, I might go get a bite to eat tonight. They're going, holy crap, I need to get some food in me or I'm going to freeze to death.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And then, another thing I think of tells me how the hunt's going is that first hour. When you're sitting through a hunt in blizzard, sunny, cloudy, whatever, an hour of hunting, that'll teach you about all you need to know for the rest of the hunt.
Not always.
Not always. But a lot of times. Yeah. Especially ducks on water in November.
Biggest thing I've always learned, too, on that is watch your first 3 groups. If they all do something similar that's not what you want, make a change.
Mm-hmm.
The old 3-group rule, I love. If 3 groups do the same thing and it's not what you want, figure out why. With geese, if all 3 groups land somewhere in the spread that you don't want, you either need to move the spread or move the hide.
Yeah.
Or if all 3 groups float above you and flare at 60, you need to figure out your hide.
Yeah. I'll tell you another thing, word of advice, guide anybody else who's in the guide industry, or if you are a client, sometimes you're going to know. You're going to be on a hunt, and you'll know it's not going to happen, or these birds are not going to come here, or something's wrong, or you're going to know we'll kill them later. If we just sit tight, we're going to smash them, or whatever. You'll know. Biggest thing is keeping the mood up while you wait for either of that to happen. These guys didn't come here to sit on their phones. I mean, some of them want to and some of them will, but they didn't come here to play on their phones and not talk and conversate and learn and all that. Be chatty. Talk to people. Tell them what's going on. Another thing is, I'm a firm believer in this. I'm a when I know, I'm blatantly honest about it. Hey, it's sunny as hell. It's cold outside. These birds probably aren't going to fly this morning, so we're going to have to probably hunt them this evening. Is that something you guys are okay with? Make sure that's good. But then, you know what? Say, hey, they might not fly, but I promise you we're not going to be here we're not going to leave in case they do. So we're going to sit here till X time and just see. And while that's going on, I'll talk with you all, have a good time still. But biggest thing is being a friend, being a guide, talking to them, keeping them talking
A
to
guide
people.
is a lot more than
Just
somebody
killing.
helping them kill. A guide is controlling the mood in the blind, controlling the atmosphere, controlling the work ethic,
Yeah.
controlling, every aspect of that experience. Not just the birds, not just the decoys, the experience as a whole. Like, it is so, so important to watch the mood, make the conversation, enjoy good companionship, make memories. If you're not killing birds, find a way to make that hunt something you're going to remember for the next 10 years. Because that's what, for a lot of these people, is the most important thing, whether they realize it or not, is going home with a memory.
Yeah. 150%.
The other thing is, on those days when you know that you aren't going to kill them, but you still got birds working, those are my favorite days to basically say, well, I've never really tried this tactic before, but I've heard it can work in other states or this or that. That's the day you try stuff, because maybe you'll figure out, hey, there's a way I can still chip away a few birds on this day that should be a kill birds day. Maybe you'll find out a new tactic. Maybe you'll find something that works different. Maybe it's a different style calling. Maybe it's a different way of setting the decoys up. There's always something you can try to make things turn around really fast.
200%.
And, I mean, one good group can be the difference between a slow day and a great day. So it's always worth the effort.
Another thing that I've done, seriously, I've been like, guys, when you guys are hunting back home and this happens, what do you guys do? I know you're the guide, but if they ain't working, they ain't working. And
Prime example of that. I could not get ducks to finish to save my life. We were hunting a pond. Old boy looked at me and he goes, you need a jerk string. We don't hunt with jerk strings here in Nebraska, hardly at all. And we're 3 miles in, and I didn't bring one. And the guy was like, don't worry, I brought one in my bag. One of the most wildest comments I'd heard all season. We put that thing on, and he's like, I'll show you how to jerk this thing. He's sitting there jerking on this jerk string. We shot our birds. And, I mean, sometimes you just got to remember everybody in the blind's a waterfowl hunter, and we can all learn. And that was a day that our swimmers went down. Everything like that was just, we had a lot of technical difficulties, and we forgot to bring the tried and true jerk string. Don't forget it. Keep it in your blind bag. Always have a makeshift one ready.
I think a big picture keynote thing here is on the opposite end of you know. Sometimes you don't, and being open is huge. No matter what level you're on, no matter how old you are, no matter how much experience you have, whether it's old guys learning new tricks or, the young guns learning tried and true methods, you have to be open. You have to be open. Hunting's, yes, in many ways, like there are for sure better hunters than others, right? But there's no one that knows it all. There's no one. It's not like a sport where you're God gifted, like amazing, and you can be miles and miles and miles and miles and miles ahead. You're just clear cut the best. Like in hunting, you're always learning. Things are changing. Behaviors is different. Weather's changing. There's always things that you can be open to.
Completely.
Whether you're a first timer, an old head, or you're a guide, whatever, being open is huge. You don't always know.
I completely agree. Tell you what, I think that's a great place to end it. I appreciate everybody for coming in, listening to this podcast. Really fun. Sit down, discuss it. Tell you one thing, I'm just missing season, and I've been saying tell you one thing way too many damn times, so I apologize about that. But season needs to come on back. Right now, when we're recording this, we got 45 days out from dove season. I think probably this will be released a little bit closer, but We're waiting. If you guys want to check us out on socials, you check us out on Whiskey Slews everywhere, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. If you want to book a hunt, give Grant a call, 308-224-7289. Website is whiskeyslews.com. Other than that, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next episode.